You just told me this is 107.7 FM, Versus Radio, right here in the heart of Maputo.
Okay, you're welcome back to the second segment of our program today. On this second segment, we're going to be taking a look at the concluding segment of the series of programs we've had on children upbringing. And I'm so happy with this because this has generated a lot of concern, particularly from the callers, on how their parents had treated them, and how they had been harsh to them, and how, interestingly, how they have resolved not to repeat the same mistakes their parents have made while raising them up. And I'm so glad we are able to achieve this milestone. It's so interesting. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the concluding segment of children upbringing with a view to drawing home the point today on the series of the discussions we've had. Now to start with, today I want you, dear listeners far and near, to avoid, on raising your children, avoid my child policy. My child policy means you have a policy in your family that nobody except me touches my children. Nobody beats, nobody spanks them, nobody blames them, nobody warns them. Not even their teachers at school. If you try it, I'm going to fight you. Then, if you did that, then you are not helping your children to grow. My child policy means that nobody else can talk to my children, nobody else can correct my children except me. Then there is a problem here. My child policy is going to make your children to be a spoiled brat. And that is not good for the growth of your children. Number two, to bring up your children the right way, we mentioned earlier that you need to commit them unto God's hands ab initio. To support that, therefore, you need to constantly pray for your children. Now, praying for your children here means that you pray for them in their presence. Now, what I'm saying is this. For example, most of our children going back, if they have not gone back anyway, going back to school after the long break. Now, invite your child, sit down. My son, sit down. My daughter, sit down. I want to pray with you. I want to bless you. That prayer is very, very impactful. That your child is there, you are making prayer for him. Your child is there, you are making prayer for her. This is very impactful. This prayer can change the entire life of your children. Now, even in their absence, on phone, speaking with your child on phone, pray for him. Pray that God Almighty blesses him. Now, where he listens to you, pray for him. Where he can't even listen or he's not close by, pray for your children. Prayer is very important. We have the case, for want of time, I won't be able to cite this example. Prophet Abraham, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he prayed for his children. Prophet Zachariah, he prayed for his children, right? And if you have children, you care for them, also commit them unto God's hands in prayer. It's not enough that you have tried your best, but what is also important is that let the Almighty take charge of your children. This you can achieve through your prayer. Furthermore, don't make your children to live life of false hope. Do not make your children to live lives of false hope. And how do I mean? We have a problem here with parenting, that some parents, they make their children to believe that, for example, all this I am doing it for you. These houses I'm building, I'm not building it for myself. I'm building the houses for you. You are the one who's going to live in that house. I'm going to leave the house. All these cars, they are your own. As soon as I die, it'll be, hey man, you're not doing anything good to your children this way. If you make your children to have the hope that, okay, all the monies, all the houses, they're for me. So why am I working? The guy feels that way. I have a case here. Some children who are raised by such parents, and because their parents, their father and their mother have been telling them, they made it to be inundated with the idea of an El Dorado, that everything is just available, so we just have to enjoy ourselves. The cars are there, houses are there, everything is there. So why do you have to go to school and study hard? We don't need to do this. 4 children in Suleja here. They killed their mother. They pinned her down because they saw her as the one. They lost their father maybe about a year. So a mother, after traveling, coming back home, they pinned her down, poured petrol on her, set her ablaze, and burnt her to death because of the false hope they had that, okay, when we die, all these properties belong to you. And the mother suspected this in them, so she tried to block them off. So they saw that, the guys, now they had a meeting, the 4 children, they had a meeting. They said, we got to take care of this woman. Let's enjoy ourselves, man. The money is there. And actually, the man left stupendous wealth for these children. Unfortunately, you left wealth for children that will kill you. Where is the benefit? Where is the benefit? There's on this note, we're going to be opening the phone lines now. If you have calls to make us, questions to ask or suggestions, please feel free to call the studio line 070-7242-6258. 070-7242-6258. As your call comes in, we pick it up while we continue with the segment of the discussion. The next point we're going to be talking about today is on the need for you parents not to make your children to live lives of luxury. Don't make your children to live lives of luxury. We got a call here. Hello, sir. We just missed the call. Okay, please, let's keep trying the lines. 070-7242-6258. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for your teaching.
Thank you very much,
Very,
sir.
very technical.
Thank you, sir.
There is the one question I want to ask. In terms of before this child, what is the teaching about child? You talked about the greeting. That is something that's the prayer you adduce and the God doesn't answer because of your own fault. That's greeting. In a situation where somebody or people, there are in our society today, sometimes people use greeting to mock somebody. That is, they will call you one bad name and then greet you. That is a sort of mockery, not greeting.
Okay.
And because of that, you don't reply to the greeting. How do you do it?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for your call. The point here is this: your intention is not that you don't want to greet them. They were the ones, or they are the ones making a mockery of you, making a jest of you. So let them continue to make a mockery of you. Play your part, greet them, whether they mock you or they didn't mock you. They mock at you or they didn't mock at you, it doesn't matter here. What is important is that you are not giving malice with them. You have a large heart in dealing with them, but they are the ones whose heart have been blocked off and their prayers constipated on account of how they deal with you. So it is a case of you're doing good to them, they're doing bad to you. You will always be ahead of them. If you have people, you are treating them well, they're treating you bad. You're doing everything good to them, they're doing everything bad to you. You will always be ahead of them. It is a law of nature. It's a natural law. Someone doing bad thing to you and you're doing good thing to that person in return, is like you are giving the person life poison. Because so long as you continue to do good to him and he does bad thing to you, you'll be ahead of him. That's the law of nature.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Prince. I'm calling from the area.
You're welcome, sir.
Hello?
You are live, sir. You can hear you.
Okay. I sincerely appreciate your program this evening, but I have a question I need clarification from you.
Okay, sir.
The father who died and left work for the children, that the children in turn killed their mother because you talk about the issue of false hope. Now, how do you treat the case of parents writing their wills when they are still alive, so that the children will not have issue when they die? Is it also issue of false hope?
Okay.
That is one. Then secondly,
Okay.
I want to find out, you are working in an office as a senior person, your junior staff having malice, keeping malice with you, they don't want to greet you. Will you be forced as a senior staff to greet your junior without they are the one who's supposed to greet you?
Fantastic. That's a good
These
question.
are my two questions.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We appreciate your question. Number one, in the issue of false hope and writing of will, there are two different things, right? You write your will, you may not make your children to be aware of the content of the will until after your demise, because it is going to be post the will will take effect after the death of the person who is having the estate, right? You're writing the will intestate, so now the will takes effect after your death. So it may not be necessary for the children to have an inkling of what the will contains. That's number one. Number two is, supposing they have an idea of what the will contains, the kind of training you give to them from the word go will impact on them, so that they will not put their hope on the things you're going to leave for them. Now, the area of false hope I was driving at in the course of the discussion, is that we don't talk to children and assure them that all these things I'm living, they are for you, I'm working for you. Give them this kind of assurance that you don't need to suffer, I've suffered for you, so just begin to enjoy, just relax yourself. This is false hope. Because the wealth is not your wealth, it's your wealth. Don't let your children live their life. You are the big man, not your children. Your children are not the big man. Many of the children are living big man's life, false life of their fathers. Don't you know my father? Yeah, we know your father, but who are you? Your father is Mr. President. So are you the Mr. President? You're not. Mr. President is gone, you are gone. But can't you want to make yourself what you are, regardless of who your parents are? So many children live in false hope. In this regard, is that they are living on the supposed achievement of their parents. This is false. And in this case, it makes the children, and this is taking me to the next topic, it makes the children to be wicked, proud, and spineless and arrogant. It's sad. Now, before I go to the topic, let me take quickly your second question. You have subordinates in the office. By right, they're supposed to greet you first, good morning, sir, good morning, ma, and stuff like this. Now, they renege on that. They didn't greet you. Keep in mind, we need to raise our children ab initio with respect for their superior. We're going to get to that. But now these people, they are bereft of this kind of courtesy. They refuse to greet you. This is deliberate. Willfully, they refuse to greet you. My candid advice, if you can ignore them, is better for you. They refuse to greet you, greet them. They refuse to say good morning, sir. You tell them good morning, sir. How are you? You have hit them back. Not hitting them back in a negative way. You hit them back in a positive way, because you have sent to them something of good. They are sending to you something of bad, something of evil. You will forever be ahead of them. Take my word. No matter their plot against you, they will never ever be able to get you. But now that they refuse to greet you, kind of tit for tat, then it becomes a case of two fighting. And of course, it is a matter of who wins, because God will not be on either side, right? If the devil is here, devil is here. So, but if you can, as much as it is possible, try to go the right way, regardless of what they do to you, to do that which is right for them. That is very, very good. And I pray that we are able to have enough patience. But actually, this is not going to be as easy. But those who are patient and they trust God Almighty, they will be able to carry out this kind of lofty assignment. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. You're live, sir. May we meet you? Where you're calling from?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Naya. I'm calling from Ado Commissioner Estate.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, my question is that, okay, for example now, you have issue with your neighbor or your colleague. If you are really patient with him and you forgive him, when anytime you greet him, he refuses to answer you, and you still continue to greet him. So you already forgive him. Forgive him, but when you greet him, he will ignore you. He won't answer. To
greet him. Thank you very much. It's just in line with the last caller. Someone that he offended you or she offended you, and yet the person is so foolhardy, cannot come back and apologize. Now you greet, even though you are the one that should be hurting here, but now you greet the person, but the person still refuses to greet you. Then, if you can be patient enough, honestly, it's just better. Continue to greet them. continue to do good to them, even as they keep malice with you, God will always make you ahead of them. Hello, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Ahmed Aziz.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to contribute to that issue of that topic that he's working that and nobody, they are not greeting him or either.
Okay, sir.
You know, when you're working in an office and something like that, and these are the people you have been working with, and that kind of thing has not been happening. And when such a thing happens, it determines the kind of relationship you have with those people before.
Okay.
And being as a person, you have to call those ones, since they are your junior staffs. Come, what is wrong? And you understand, have I done anything wrong that you people, and at least try to find out what is actually making them ignoring you.
Yeah.
I think there should be something, or you did something wrong to them. So we should try and find out where the fault is coming out before you try to ignore them.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate your contribution. That's a very good one. Finding out why they had ignored you before you also ignore them. Actually, I wasn't subscribing to the idea of you even ignoring them. My subscription is to the extent that even though they ignored you for whatever reason, I haven't found out, or whether you, in the course of finding out, continue to maintain good relationship with them. Now, hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Please, I want to say something about this greeting assistance.
Okay, sir.
You know, we are meant to know that this greeting is more of African culture.
Okay, sir.
So I learned that in the developed world, we don't value greeting. They don't sit down. It's not just that somebody doesn't mean that he has money or he has a problem with you.
Okay,
So
sir.
you get in a situation where you go away, you forget about greeting and God, you don't value the greeting. I don't know why you see this.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate, sir. So it's a very interesting dimension that the last caller had brought into this conversation on greeting. Actually, greeting is beyond culture. Greeting is spiritual. Because not greeting is actually you are directly keeping malice. If it is intentional, not greeting is not just cultural, it is spiritual, because your heart negates the heart of the other person. You pass by your colleague at work, by your husband, your wife, your neighbor, without greeting. It's not just culture. And if it is cultural, then it's a bad culture at that. That's not a good culture. So now greeting, you are extending, for example, in the balance of Islamic discourse, you say salam, assalamu alaikum. It's a greeting and it's a prayer. You say assalamu alaikum means peace be unto you. So it's something spiritual. It's from my heart to you. I'm extending to you greetings of peace. In other words, I have brought peace to you. Am I at peace with you too? Are you at peace with me? Rather. So it's something that connects the heart together. So when you continue to greet yourself this way, extending greetings, pleasantries, your heart will bound together. And if that happens, then there are chances that your prayers will grow and will easily be accepted. But not greeting, especially when it is done willfully, then this in and of itself is going to be debilitating and constipating to our spiritual growth. This is just my take on this. I think we're going to continue with the next point on children upbringing. And I was going to mention the detail for the last caller, that you don't make your children to live a life of like an El Dorado, that everything is available, making them to believe that they are free to get anything or take anything. You can ride any car, you can go anywhere, go to nightclub, money is available, making children to believe that life is just so good and easy. It makes them to be wicked and stubborn. You need to this kind of freedom. You need to make children to believe that this freedom and access to doing whatever you like is expensive, and that it actually can destroy them. It is not good that you make children to be so high-handed in terms of what they are free to do, that they can do anything, they go out anytime, they come back anytime, they ride any car, they live anyhow. This is not life. You don't train children this way. You don't train children in a manner that makes them to believe that it is the house help or the housemaid that they are the ones to do everything. So, for example, your children have just eaten at the dining. They can't pack. The house help, you call, okay, go and pack the food from him. Your children of 5-10 years, they don't know how to arrange them. They don't have table manner. You after eating, clean the table, pack it, take it to the wash hand in the kitchen, and you clean it up. They don't know how to do all this because you feel that the helps are always available. Now remember, the house help of today, they were children of certain families. Now condition being crayfish, it's condition of life that made them to be that way. So don't allow your children to live life of so much luxury, so much opulence that it is house help that does everything, the housemaid does everything. Okay, for example, you have things to wash. Task your daughters in the house, go and work with XYZ, who is your housemaid, go and clean the kitchen with him. You are cooking in the kitchen. Don't allow your children in the name of, I want them to pass the exam. There is something we are missing out here. Learning and character. Yes, the child is fantastic, very brilliant in learning, but that child is bereft of character. The child does not know how to walk, does not know how to sweep, does not know how to cook, does not know how to clean. Yeah. What kind of a child is this? Yes, the brain is good, but the manners are gone. So you need to balance it up that you, for example, you instruct your girl, go and cook with the help, go and wash with the help of your boys as your gardener is cutting the grass or cleaning the environment, go and get broom and then sweep with the gardener. Don't say because I pay them now. Yes, you are paying, but you're also doing fantastic things to your children by making them to be humble enough to work with your house help, to work with your gardener, to work with people in the house. Ability to make them to do this kind of common house chores will make them to be simple life, to have a simple life, to be respectful, and to be good children. I can assure you this. But making them the opposite, man, you may have a lot of things to deal with. Remember, things may not be like this forever. Things may change. Don't you ever think that you are raising children who will become your haters or your enemies later in life? You have made them to believe that they are made of gold and silver. They can't touch anything. People are available to do everything. This is not the kind of life you should make your children to live. I pray that Allah will make it easy for you. Next point, teach your children to always say, I am sorry whenever they are wrong. And let this charity begin at home. You have older children, like for example, their older brother, their older sister. If they did something wrong, let them learn to say, I'm sorry to their older ones or their younger ones. Both ways. If you are wrong, let your child, no, insist, apologize for what you did. The younger ones wrote late to the older ones. Let the younger ones apologize. Let them say, I'm sorry. There are some children. If you tell them, say, I am sorry, they cry. You must nip that attitude in the bud from the word go. Doing that is going to help your children to be humble, and with humility, God Almighty will take them to greater heights. Furthermore, let your children adjust their ways. Learn to adjust their ways when they are wrong. So that if they have done something wrong, let them have the kind of humility to say, okay, I won't do this again. I will start doing this right now. This is also important. Furthermore, you need to train your children on respect for elders. For example, you have elder brother, elder sister. Don't give them the chance of just calling Fatima or John or Abdullah or David, or call them by their names. Let them call Sister Fatima or Brother David or Brother Abdullah or Sister Koya. Let them use this kind of respectful compliment when they call those and address those who are older than them. And in greeting elders outside the house, let them learn to say sir or ma. For example, you want to greet someone that is a stranger, or you're meeting that person in a public place, or maybe in the masjid or wherever, and then you want to say good morning. Don't just say good morning. Say good morning, sir, or good afternoon, ma. These are the things that you should be able to train your children with, so that they grow on how to pay compliment to other people and respect them for who they are. If they are trained on how to respect elders, then they're going to be children with humility. This kind of attitude will resonate with them and will go with them anywhere they go. And people that see them, they will like them because it's, oh, these children are very respectful. This is the kind of children I think we should be raising. Furthermore, to make it down to earth, train your children to respect your house help. Don't allow your children to misbehave to your house help and talk to them whichever way. They are your house help, not their house help. It's your gardener, not your children's gardener. So let your children respect them regardless of their condition on the social ladder. That today they are house help, regardless of who they are, let your children learn to respect them. And finally, we have a case to deal with in respect of irresponsible fathers and irresponsible mothers. And they don't know how their children feed, they don't know how they clothe, they don't know how they shelter, they don't know how they go to school, they don't pay their school fees. They just live their life. All they know how to do is just to give their mother belly, and they find their way. And they're living their lives. They're living their lives of luxury. Their children are roaming about the street in tattered dress, unkempt hair, and all this like that, and they don't care about these children. These are irresponsible parents. And it's on this note we're going to end this discussion today on children upbringing. I want to appeal that this is important in view of the fact that it strikes at the bottom line of our security apparatus. Because if our children are raised the right way, then it shows that we have little challenges to deal with as far as our national security challenges is concerned. But if we don't raise our children the right way without the right attitude, if the children grow with the wrong attitude, then we got a problem to deal with right from inside the house to the outside. And of course, we have a lot of things to deal with. And inshallah, by next week, we're going to continue on marriage segment by talking about husband and wife relationship. So how do we find the balance here? How do we make certain we grow ourselves in a manner that will be impactful not only on our lives, but also on the lives of our children? As we wrap up this session today, if you have any reason to call after the program, you have a question that you really want to ask, or you feel strong, you want to say a few things after the program, not on air, please call the line or send WhatsApp message or SMS to 090-722-08098. 090-722-08098. That will be after the program. I want to thank you all for finding time to be with us today, and I want to appreciate all the callers for the points they have raised, and it's well taken, and the contributions they have made and the questions are well appreciated. I want to thank you all, and I pray that the Almighty, Creator of the heavens and the earth, will bless you all and will keep us all steadfast on the path of righteousness from now until the end of our days in life. I remain yours sincerely, Dr. Gidado Taufik Mikdad. Thank you. May Allah bless you.
Of Christ.